Hi, friends. This is Caitlin. I am so excited to be back with you for another live with Pink and Main. I don't know about you, but I have realized that a lot of brands are starting to look towards the fall as we enter August. And I may or may not have gotten a peek at what Pink and Main has in store for us this month with the new release that comes out in 3 weeks. And let me tell you, this is a topical subject. So I see lots of people checking in. Thank you, Virginia, Mary, Danny, Kim, Maria. I'm so glad to see you guys. Thank you for letting me know that you are there. So what I thought we would do tonight is take one of my older, it's just from last year, but one of my absolute favorite fall stamp sets. And we're going to use the same images and I'm going to color them 2 ways. So we're going to make a summer card and a fall card with the exact same images, pretty close to the same paper, just by changing up our colors and our sentiment. We're going to make two completely different things. So that way, if you see a fall stamp set that you fall in love with and you're like, I just don't know if I'm ready to commit to fall, maybe this will help spark in your mind some options of how you can color something from that stamp set in a more summer way until you catch the fall bug. I have to tell you, I catch the fall bug around July 5th or 6th. Every year, as soon as 4th of July is over, I'm ready for fall, but I know that that's not how it works for everybody. So I want to just play around, do some coloring. Today's going to be a little more coloring heavy, and I did not prep our images. So I'm going to go ahead and switch this over. We will prep our images so they can dry for a few minutes, and then we'll talk about paper. I see, oh, even more people checking in. I see Susan, oh, Miss Judy B, Angie, Julianne. So good. I'm so excited. That's what a good crew we have going already. Love that. Okay, there we go. So I do have some of my stuff already pooled. So the stamp set we're going to use, this is one of my all-time favorites. This is Fall Mice. This came out last year. It is absolutely stinking adorable. This little mouse with his scarf and his coffee owns my heart. So I love him, but I thought to keep this transitional from summer to fall, and I haven't used, you can see like these guys are pretty inky. I have not used this stamp set or this stamp out of the set. So we're going to use this guy and the flowers, and we're going to stamp them down twice. Oh, Sovereign says she is always ready for fall. I love that. Hey, Dawn, checking in. All right. So I have some Copic Express It paper. It's trimmed down to a A2 size, but that's not important that it be that size. We're going to die cut these when we're done. So we're going to stamp out our mouse in his little container, and we're also going to stamp out these flowers. I think that's good. I just want to tuck these. I think we're going to stamp them 4 times total. We're going to do kind of 2 for each. They can be like bunched up around behind our little mouse. I think we can do that and we'll be able to fit one there. And yeah, we'll do our sentiments different, but we'll do those at the end once I see kind of what the layout looks like for these guys. Let me grab my Asphalt Premium Dye ink. I want to give this a chance to dry because my ink pad has gotten a little bit better. Let's see, there might be a bubble there. Sometimes when I stamp, no, I think it's just me. Sometimes when I stamp, if I get a bunch of ink on my stamp like that, I worry that there's a bubble and it's going to press into my paper. So I like to lift and make sure that that's not the case. And I think we are good. All right, beautiful. We're going to spin this whole panel around for our second stamping. Sorry, what I was saying is these premium dye ink pads, I'm sure if you guys have been here before, you've heard me say it many times, but they are juicy. So I definitely want to give my images even just a few minutes. It doesn't, I'm not letting them dry for like a half hour. We just need to give them a couple minutes to dry back so that our ink does not smear when we go to color. The dye inks are alcohol ink friendly, but if the ink is still super wet, it can shift around a little. So yeah, perfect. We're gonna flip that guy upside down just so it fits nicely. That's a little double stamped, but honestly, I don't think it's gonna matter. And that was definitely me, not the stamp. I didn't make sure that my paper was flat before I placed that in there. There we go. So we have our images ready. I'm just going to set them up to the side for a second, like I said, to dry. And I'm going to walk you through the papers that I pulled and kind of what my ideas are while I'm thinking about things like transitional stamping or coloring, seasonally transitioning cards. Oh, I love that. Sovereign calls her little ink pads cute cubes. I love cute cubes. I think that's very fun. All right, so I want to use the Cool Basics for both of these cards. And I think that that's a fun way to approach this, of having, right, like the stamp set in common, the pattern paper in common, and then by changing the colors and the solid cardstock that goes with it, we're going to get two very different feelings. So what I love about the Cool Basics is even though it's like cool, right? It's a lot of blues and greens. It does come with this yellow. And I think this is going to lend itself really well to kind of a sunflower, right? Summery kind of feeling. So I definitely want to do the yellow, and I have this piece that's already like trimmed down a little bit. So I'm going to use this technically scrap for my summer card. And then I want to pull in this tan kind of color for my fall card. And I have to decide, maybe it'll be fun to do the exact same pattern, just in different colors. Yeah, let's do that. We'll just do two of the same pattern. We'll really keep it super similar to show how easy it is to get two different feelings. All right, so we have our Cool Basics. And then my solid cardstock that we're going to be using to pair these up with, we're going to put Pebble with our yellow, which is still in theory like a little fall, I guess, right, with the tan, but I think it's just going to read as neutral. And then I just restocked on my Wildflowers cardstock, and this stuff is amazing. It's like the perfect fall burnt kind of orange. I think on camera it almost is reading a little more red, but I promise you it's a little bit orange. And I'm going to pair that up with that, and you can already see like how that's just like pumpkin spice goodness right there. So I stocked up on my Pebble cardstock too, because I was like halfway through my other pack, and you guys know I love my Pebble cardstock. I fly through it. I don't ever want to be without, and I figured if I was going to pay shipping on paper, I might as well just go for all the paper, right? Okay, come on, light. Got it. All right, so we're going to get these trimmed down, give our images just an extra like a minute to dry. I'm going to, I was going to say that I was going to use the solids for the matte, but maybe the pattern should be the matte so we can stamp our sentiment straight on our solids. Let's do that. So we're going to go 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. I also have to confess to you guys, this cat is still sitting here. Still sitting there. I'm sorry. I know I said I would try to get it figured out by today, but sometimes it happens. It just doesn't click. Look, I'm on autopilot. I just trimmed that down to 4¼ by 5½, but we need it smaller. We're going to go a 1/2 inch smaller in each direction. So we're going to go 3¾ by 5 inches. Right, and that's going to give a nice, honestly, we could probably even go a little smaller. Let's go to 3½, because our image is not huge. So we're doing a 1/4 inch off of each direction. Yeah, that's better. I'm going to save these for sentiments down the road. Put that back in my cart with my other pebbles. I try to keep those bigger pieces with my full sheets so that if I don't forget to grab them. All right, 4¼ I always cut my 4¼ side first. So I have bigger scraps to work with. 5½. And what do we say? This is not the best way to cut this. Let's go 5½ first, cut it in half. Then we'll go 3½. Nope. Oh, no. Things, let's do those. Put that back with my big pieces. Oh, and I totally forgot to tell you guys, I got that binder. I got my Pink and Main binder in the mail. So it's a 2-ring storage binder. And so I just have some, it's ironic, I don't actually have the Pink and Main scraps in there because I have my Pink and Main scraps in here. And I'm just worried, I don't know if they're going to fit because it's pretty thick. But I have some of my specialty scraps and like themed out scraps in these envelopes, also from Pink and Main, with the 2-ring binder, and I was holding them perfectly. So I think the thing is that I now have decided I need a second one of these, and then I can transfer all of my other ones into the long folders and put them there. But I do think that this is going to work for me with my scraps so I can keep them a little more manageable. Yeah, Danny, or Mary, I did not figure out the cat. And yes, Danny, so far I'm loving that binder. I was on the fence about it for a while. I'm now very happy that it is in my stash. I'm going to go ahead and glue these smaller panels down flat while I'm thinking about it now, because I'm going to pop up my mice with foam, I already know. And we'll stamp our sentiment down directly. And we'll probably do some grounding coloring for our little mice images so that they're not just floating in space. But for the most part, our backgrounds are going to be pretty simple. We're just going to let the color and the pattern kind of carry everything. I don't have intentions of adding any glitter or sequins. Oh yeah, the stencils, Danny. I didn't even think about that. That's an obvious one. If anybody hasn't seen that, just because I have them right here, the binder can be used for these envelopes, but they also, all of Pink and Main's stamp, this is one of the ones that just came out. All of Pink and Main's stamps come with these holes on the side ready to go. So that way, if you don't want to use your envelopes for in there, you can store all of your stencils like that, and it'll keep them all nice and safe and protected. You could just stack them up, or you could do a combination of envelopes and stamps if you wanted to. That is very true. They fit in there really nice. I keep my stamps in leftover packaging, just for the record. I should get a binder for those too. I keep mine just in some really thick packaging, and I have them labeled pink and Maine. And then when I get a new one, I just slide it on in there and it lives on the cart. But it would probably, you wouldn't have to fight with it if it was in a binder. So definitely something to consider if you need new organization for your stencils. All right, I think we should be good to color. I'm going to get you guys zoomed in. We're going to do our summer mouse first. Of course, I didn't pick colors ahead of time. I think we'll go, let's go gray mouse. We'll go warm gray mouse. Sorry, my gray marker cubby is the most jam-packed. We'll keep them pretty light. So let's go, let's do 3 instead of 4. So we'll go W5, 3, and 1. I'm going to start with my W5, my darkest shade first. We're going to add a little shading to the paws around the outside of the face, the bottom of the face, and then under that little mouth muzzle area. And I'm going to enhance the artist drawn lines around the eyes to kind of give that kind of chubbier cheek, smiling cheek kind of look. We're going to add some at the base of the ears. We're going to jump to W3. Start pulling that color up. And obviously your mouse for at either season could be shaded in literally any way that you want. I just thought the warm grays versus we're going to go some like tan, more tan brown colors for the fall one would just kind of help differentiate them. But it's not like right or wrong mouse colors for summer or fall. I'm going to go in with W1. Start shading that face in, overlap those a little bit. And I'm going to leave these patchwork ears to color in a coordinating color with those flowers. I'm going to grab W9 for the nose. So he's already starting off pretty cute. I think he needs some rosy cheeks. So we'll bring in R20 for a little blush and blend that out with my W1. Cute. All right, I want, I'm thinking pink and yellow. So let's Let's do yellow ears and a yellow watering can, pink heart, and yellow and pink flowers. So I'm gonna grab Y19 and I'm gonna follow the lines of that plaid. Then I'm gonna shade the outer section of my watering can, but I'm being careful not to take my color all the way to the edge because I want this to look shiny and round. And shiny round things usually have a reflection where they turn away from you. They reflect that light when they curve. So there would be a highlight right along that edge. But I am going to add some shading to the base of the spout and the base of the handles. We're going to jump to Y15 and we're going to thicken up those plaid lines. Start pulling some of that color out. And if you picked like a little bit more of a mustardy yellow, this could also very easily also be fall. But I think the pink is what's going to help us to push this solidly summer. My latest yellow is going to be my 13. We're going to fill that in. Fill in that center section, always overlapping so that the alcohol ink can do its thing and start blending. Fill in those outer edges. Perfect. And I'm leaving those colors out for our flowers. And then pink, I think I want to go with like a RV pink, like a red violet pink, instead of like a bubble gum. We're gonna go 20 RV 25. And RV 14, which is not much lighter. So I'm going to try to leave some highlight space. I'm trying to do this from memory and not use my chart. Obviously, I need some more memorizing work. There we go. RV 23. Adorable. And now because this is so yellow heavy, I'm going to make the flowers pink petals with yellow just in the middle. So I'm going to take that 25, my darkest shade, and draw some flicks coming out of the center of all of these petals. And I think this is really going to help to balance out all that yellow. Okay. We'll do a touch of the 14 because sometimes my 25 to 23 doesn't love to blend smoothly. And that heart blended out pretty well. So now I'm thinking the RV14 might be the magic bridge between those two. And this is definitely giving me like pink lemonade, right? Raspberry lemonade kind of feels. Very cute. Also, if anybody, for everybody, I should say, because there are plenty of you, for everybody who's made it this far into this live, I need you to know that I super am underplaying how amazing this August release is going to be. It's a really stinking good, guys. When Michelle posted to the design team group, all I wrote was like, wow, with 12 O's. It's really good. So just putting that out there. All right, and then we just need one green, something not too crazy. Yeah, that's good. YG 63. And we're just going to shade these in completely because I don't even know how much of them is going to show once we tuck these behind our mouse and our little floral arrangement. I'm going to grab my white gel pen. We're going to add in his little eye highlights. We're going to add a highlight to the watering can. And we're going to add it, I guess, to the bottom here. Looks like a good spot. It would probably be on the top, but whatever. I'm also going to add my own lines to the middle of the artist drawn lines, like in between those that checkered print. That's how I like to make these actual plaid and not just quilted, is adding in that little bit of extra pattern. Okay. We'll leave our green out. We could do the same green. We're going to switch up our yellows. Still going to do yellow. We're going to do yellow and orange, and we're just going to switch those up a little bit. So now we're flipping from summer to fall. And I'm going to grab, let's go 30s. We'll go 35, 33, 31 in the E's. We're going to color this in placement wise exactly the same. So 35, at the base of the ears, the hands, or on the outside of the face, under the nose/mouth. 33 sand to start pulling that up. Always making sure that the center part of the face where the expression is, his little eyes and mouth, are nice and light. 31. Fill that in. And part of the reason that this stamp set works so well for this transition is that there is an image in here that doesn't have falling leaves or pumpkins. But I find that if you really pay attention and you're looking for it, that you can find that kind of image in a lot of stamp sets. Like a lot of companies are really trying to be mindful. The cheeky highlights or shadows, I guess I should say. A lot of companies are really trying hard to add in images that will hold up to more than one season or occasion. So I'm challenging you to take a look at some of your sets to see if there's something you can use outside of the time frame you think you're meant to use it. All right, so now Our mouse is all shaded up. I did the cheeks the same way and everything. Think I want like a pumpkinier orange for everything that was yellow on this guy, and then we'll do yellow where we had pink before. So I'm going to YR09. This will work really well with that Wildflowers cardstock. And I apologize now. I put the Cool Basics pattern paper in the links, but I did not put the Pebble or Wildflower cardstock in the links. I'm very sorry about that. Jumping from YR09 to YR07. Start blending that out. Does anybody have any big plans for August now that we're at the start of the month? Any ways that we're celebrating, right, the last bit of summer before back to school and all of the holiday pre-craziness starts? Keep an eye out in case you guys want to leave. Any comments about your August plans? I'm planning on taking my girls up to go see my dad in the Pittsburgh-ish area in a couple weeks. That's going to be fun. They're going to be really excited. Oh, Julianne's waiting for fall and football. My mom's watching and she doesn't have a YouTube account, so she can't comment, but she would be liking your comment, Julianne. She loves football. As soon as they start summer camp, pre-training, all that stuff, she's all about it. All right, I love how that orange is turning out. Very cute. I do want to switch up my yellows though. I want to go, I think, with the Y30s. And I probably only really need the two. We're going to go Y38. This is just more of like a little bit more on that mustard side, a little bit, or like straw maybe. It's not that like bright sunshine yellow. It's just a little softer, buttery, or something like that. So we're going to go 38 and then 35. And I think for these, yeah, I think that's good. I don't know. I might end up actually adding one darker. I don't really want any, wouldn't have wanted anything lighter. Maybe 28. For just like a little subtle shadow. Yeah, that's not bad to just add those flicks in afterwards. With the 28, which is kind of this like golden, a little on the brown side. Yeah, I like that. We're going to go the same green as before. the YG63. Perfect. And pull out my oranges one more time for the center of these flowers. We're going to go YR09, our darkest shade around the spiral, and then YR04, which was our lightest shade, to fill that in. Kim said, that's perfect, Kim. Kim said, football gives me a reason to play with my stamps. Love that. Oh, Susan's going to start making her Christmas cards. Susan, do not worry. Making Christmas cards is so hard for me to do before like November. It's just so if it's not easy for you, you are definitely not alone. I'm doing that same checkerboard kind of pattern for the plaid. My highlights. I remember to put my highlight for my watering can on the top of the spout this time. So there's our fall. There's our summer. So cute. All right, I'm going to cut these right down the middle so that we can do our die cuts, one each, one pass for each. Where did you go, WY? Julianne says she has the NFL channel on right now. I'm glad that it's something that makes you happy, Julianne. It does not make me equally happy, but that's okay. Not everything is for everybody. All right, we're gonna use some Spellbinders yellow tape, low tack tape. I still stick it to my leg or my shirt before I use it. Even though it's low tack, the last thing I want to do after going through all of this coloring process is have my paper get torn. No, thank you. Okay. I'm going to run that through my Sizzit Big Shot. My die cutting machine is over here on the floor next to my desk. Near my guard dog who is sound asleep. There is a mouse and one flower. This repositioned. I think at some point we've probably talked about the fact that I'm definitely a Swiftie. And I saw something that was like a TikTok of these girls at her concert, like beforehand or after, or whatever, and they were like, I understand that this many people, like talking about the size of the stadium, that many people love Taylor Swift, but I had no idea this many people liked football, and that really resonated with me. Oh no, Carmen. Carmen said they lost their like air conditioning. I'm so sorry. I hope those parts get to you soon. That's gonna be miserable. So much of the country's in a heat wave right now. I hope those parts come in quick for you, Carmen. I'm pretty sure Florida's like in the hundreds plus today. 88 in the house. Yeah, no, thank you. I hope you get some kind of relief. Last pass through the die cut machine. All right, get our die squished back down. One die cut has gone rogue. And I don't even see my tape. That's frustrating. I wonder what I did with that. Or who took it. Whatever. It's fine. Okay, so, oh my god, there should be like a strobe warning on my videos at this point. Okay, so we have our, here we go, our two cards. We're gonna tuck some of these flowers behind our little mice. Just like that. So cute. Same exact layout. All right, so these have some very fall themed sentiments. So wishing you a harvest of blessings, thoughts of you feel like a warm hug. I'm so grateful for your friendship. That could have potential for summer. Sweet autumn greetings, happy fall. Thank you, that was so nice of you. That's cute. You're the pick of the patch, hello friend, and hey pumpkin. So I think for our summer, either I'm so grateful for our friendship or hello friend. And I think because our image is kind of small, I want the bigger one. So I think I'm so grateful for our friendship. If we stamp that in pink, I think it'll be perfect. And then, well, my pink is very wet, so maybe we'll just do it in black. And then I'm thinking, wishing you a harvest of blessings. That's cute. To make it like fall slash almost Thanksgiving-y. I don't know. I might still try to do that in pink anyway. I might risk it for the biscuit with that one. So I think I want my mouse about there. So we'll put our sentiment about there. Let's see if it's straight. Looks pretty good. Get that re-centered up with my black ink. Love it. Is that like blurry to you guys? I can't tell if it's my screen or if it's blurry. Bye, Carmen. I hope it gets better for you. She said she does get some relief during the day going to work, but I can't imagine trying to sleep with it that hot. I need it to be like frigid, even in the winter. All right. I'm so grateful for our friendship. Look, I've gone longer than most of my other videos. It's crazy what happens when I'm busy coloring. All right, we're going to try it with the pink. Yeah, that doesn't seem too crazy. I'm just trying to be very gentle tapping that, and I think that's it. I think 2 and we're done. Hey, Pam. That's okay. I'm glad that you made it at least to the end so you can see, you get like a sneak peek of what you're going to be in for when you watch the replay. All right, let's get our elements glued on, and then we are good to wrap this one up. So I'm going to glue down my flowers flat and pop up my mice. And I'm also going to ground them with a shadow. So let's bring out those W markers again. We'll use the same ones for all of these. We're going to go W5. I'm going to trace out-ish the bottom of my watering can and then fill that up a little bit, like blend it up a little higher. We're going to come in with W3, pull that down, and then little flicks to start pulling that color out. And our last one's going to be W1. And because we're working on colored cardstock, it's going to look darker. It's going to all dry back a little bit. So keep that in mind. But that way, now our image will have like a little space to rest on. And that coloring does not have to be perfect. So I'm going to add the foam to the back of my mouse, but we're not going to peel off our paper yet. Probably use another one behind his ear, but over it. Okay. Then I'm going to add some liquid glue to the back of my flowers. And we're going to slide them into place. Go. Just like that. It just, with the backing still on that foam, it's just a little bit plasticky slippery, and it lets you slide your images right under. Like that. Give them a good squish. Peel off that backing paper. And pop that guy into place using our grounding shadow as a guide. So there is, I'm so grateful for our friendship. Sweet little summary card. We're going to do the exact same thing, same colors and everything for our little fall friend. Trace that out, blend it up. And hopefully you can already see how that some of that shading is already starting to fade back on the pebble cardstock. That's W3 and W1. And the darker the cardstock I found, the less careful I have to be. Oh, that's not a problem, Krista. I totally understand. Summer is still busy for everybody. Like the fact that so many of you all make it to these lives every week is just like absolutely amazing to me. Because between vacations and camps and life, stuff comes up. That's the nice thing about doing lives like this, is that it does end up posted so that you can watch the replay later. All right, one last time. Our foam is on, but we left the backing tape We're going to hold that in place. Tuck those flowers. So while I get this last little mouse in place, I just want to remind you guys, a moral of our story, coloring story tonight, is that you can definitely manipulate some of your stamps just by the colors that you're choosing for how you color them in, as well as the pattern paper and cardstock you're using to create your card. You can definitely transition some of your summer stamps into fall. And if you get new fall stamps and you're not ready to make the fall leap yet with new releases that are coming out, you can definitely use them to make some last minute summer cards until you are ready. So I hope that you enjoyed seeing our summer and our fall card and that comparison. I hope that you love these. This is the fall mice stamp set. It is one of my all-time favorites. I definitely highly recommend it, but also, like I said, keep an eye out because in a few weeks we will have some amazing new fall inspired sets from Pink and Main, and I can't wait for those sneak peeks to come. But until then, I just appreciate you so much for coming to hang out. I know this one went longer, but I really enjoyed coloring and spending time with you guys. I hope that you have an amazing Wednesday. I will see you back here Thursday at 8:30 p.m. Eastern. I have no idea what we're coloring yet, so if you have any ideas or requests, definitely leave me some comments. I'll come back and check. And until then, guys, I hope you have a great day tomorrow and happy crafting.